I literally love the word stress, and because of my interest in this word, I have created a blog on this topic. You can find anything and everything related to stress on this blog. Time and again, I have discussed the benefits and also the evil side of stress and stressors. At times, a mild or moderate level of stress can significantly increase our performance in exams, job interviews, or even games. Have you ever reaped the benefits of stress? I started understanding and recognizing the importance of stress long before in my life. The first encounter with the devil was when I was 6 years old and I had to appear for a residential school exam. I was very much interested in joining the school, but the preparation wasn't up to the mark. Slowly and gradually, the stress started building up, leading to success. It's an important story, we will talk about it someday. As I grew older and older, my encounter with stressful situation became very frequent. Sometimes, I have to face a stressful situation even 5 times a day. But I never used negative ways to deal with stress. Unfortunately, a lot of my friends are habituated to substance abuse and alcoholism. If I try to recall, it all started with sales and sales targets. I am an engineer and an MBA graduate by profession, but a blogger and a YouTuber by passion. Let's get back to flashback. Like any other enthusiastic fresher, I also have dreams of becoming CMO of some company. It's always good to dream high. I was least aware of the fact that sales have nothing to do with the MBA. Either you have sales skill or you don't have. After graduating, I got an opportunity to work with a few startups. Though the pressure was huge, learning was also in the same proportion. My best learning wasn't the sales skill but the numerous ways to handle stress. So, it was my short story which has nothing to do with substance abuse or alcoholism. My friend, Mr. Johnson, also had a similar profile. He worked for a few startups but he developed few habits which finally claim his life. Though he was great at handling the prolonged or chronic work stress, somehow he got into a habit of drinking a lot. Slow and gradually, the habit became the need. Once I asked him about his drinking habit. He replied, "Even I want to quit, but it's too late." One evening I got a call from his wife, he was no more. I know you may be feeling bored with this story, but it was very important for me to share it. What I want to conclude from this short yet important story is that you should never even think of using negative ways to deal with stress. Remember, stress is a part and parcel of life. We can't ignore it for a long time. The more we face a stressful situation, the better we will be at handling it. Common negative ways to deal with stress. Smoking, the first on the list is smoking. I term smoking as a sweet poison. Common negative ways to handle stress. Have you ever asked any smoker why he lights up? A dozen of my friends used this product to quit smoking. Trust me, in most of the cases, the answer will be, it relieves stress. Stress-related smoking statistics. A survey was conducted by Pew Research Center's Social and Demographic Trends Survey on June 16, July 16, 2008 among a nationally representative sample of 2,250 adults. The result of the survey is mind-boggling, indeed. I want to ask everyone out here a question based on the outcome of the survey. Is smoking the byproduct of stress or vice versa? Trust me, guys, I am really confused with the outcome. Let's dig a bit more. Negative ways to deal with stress effectively. I hope you will agree with my statement that over the last few decades, an individual's life has become more stressful in America. But the graph shows some different result. It says the smoking population has stabilized by 2008. It means a lot of people aren't smoking even though they are encountering a stressful situation every single day. In the layman language, the intensity of stress has increased multiple folds for Americans, but the smoking population hasn't increased accordingly. Maybe the credit goes to the government to educate people to stop smoking. Trust me, I need to dig more. 10 negative ways to deal with stress. Yup, now, the things are getting crystal clear. The chart shows that smokers are less happy, healthy, and satisfied as compared to non-smokers and quitters. So, there are 2 questions in my mind. Question 1, do people smoke because they aren't happy? Question 2, do smoking lead to unhappiness? If we infer from the discussion that smoking is the outcome of stress, then it's definitely important to quit this habit. The reason why I am saying this is very simple. Stress will never leave you. You have to accept the fact that stress is a friend you will never want in your life. Related, how to handle stressful situations? Tell me, guys, according to you, what are negative ways to deal with stress? Self-harm, never even think of harming yourself. Life is a gift from God. Cherish every moment. Be positive and never give up. Remember, everyone's life is a mixture of good and bad moments. Don't worry, bad times aren't there to stay forever. Trust me, just like cloud traveling swimming across the sky, bad times will go. Whenever you get a negative thought of harming yourself, think of your parents, spouse, children. I have seen my teenager's friend cutting the vein of their hand because a girl didn't accept his proposal. Is life so cheap? Sometimes, people in their mid-30s and 40s have attempted suicide, just because they lost the job. Learn to fight and win. No one ever loses anything, either they win or they learn. Change the way you think and the world will be the best place to live in. Many people also harm themselves by biting their nails, hitting their head against the wall, burning their skin, not letting their wound to heal, and many other weird things. Do you know biting nails is a lower form of self-harm? Examples of negative ways to deal with stress. Never be so weak that a stressful situation can force you to harm yourself. Self-harm is a negative way to deal with stress and anxiety that you should never give a try. Self-harm may reduce your stress instantly by diverting your mind towards the pain. But after a certain time, stress returns with high intensity of pain. Self-harm is addictive in nature, and it's important to consult a psychiatrist if you are facing a similar problem. Why would you self-harm under stress? Lack of coping strategy leads to self-harm. Your nervous system is screaming and creating havoc. You need to get rid of this situation. The best thing that you can do is self-harm to bring your system to the equilibrium. How to avoid self-harm under stress? The best way is to stop the tendency of self-harm even before it emerges. Now, you know that stress can cause self-harm. So, the best way is to use your knowledge to negate the situation. Consult a psychiatrist and discuss your problem. Find out the triggers for self-harm and try to mitigate it. Make a health plan and start following it. Never stay alone when you are feeling stressed. Learn new techniques for coping with stress. I will recommend you to read this book, it can do wonders. Always remember, you aren't alone. Thousands of people across America do self-harm. It's completely treatable. Trichotillomania, as the name suggests, it can be considered as an advanced form of self-harm. This disease is not so common. Unfortunately, one of my close relatives was diagnosed with this impulse disorder, and thus, I came to know about this disease. It has a very unique symptom, and people suffering from it are normal like you and me. When the victim of this disease faces a stressful situation, he starts pulling out his own hair. Can you believe it? Positive and negative ways to deal with stress. Initially, when she became bald, her parents thought it as a scalp infection. Even she was treated for the scalp infection for a fairly long time. But, unfortunately, there wasn't any sign of improvement. You will not believe, but in reality, she was taking her hair whenever she was alone in the house. Definitely, she wasn't fully conscious, and this was the way she was using to distress herself. Even I was shocked when the doctor showed me the pictures of some trichotillomania patient. It was horrible. Some patient even pulls out the hair from eyelashes and arms. Alcoholism. When we drink alcohol, dopamine hormone, responsible for creating a pleasant feeling, is released into the body. Under the influence of dopamine, you will feel distressed, relaxed, and free from all the tensions. You will not believe, but when you are under the influence of alcohol, your brain sends a signal to your body to slow down, and also, some chemical change happens in your body that gives you instant relief from stress. What are the negative ways to deal with stress? An increase in the level of endorphins and serotonin, due to consumption of alcohol, creates an illusion of good feeling to the brain. Slowly and gradually, people make it a habit to drink alcohol on a regular basis. The worst part is the damage it causes to the body. In the long run, alcohol can completely damage your liver. If you keep drinking alcohol to get short-term relaxation, then, a time can come when your body will not be able to stimulate the relaxation hormone even after drinking a lot. So, it's a cycle. To get rid of stress, people start drinking, leading to organ damage, which further leads to chronic stress. Never fall into the trap of addiction. If you aren't able to control your drinking habit, it's better to contact a psychiatrist. I will recommend you to read this book. It has helped my brother to quit alcohol. Caffeine, surprisingly, it's true. I know most you love coffee more than I did, but you have to reduce the intake of coffee. Do you know that caffeine is a regular drug? The best part about coffee is that it stimulates your nervous system, increases concentration, reduces fatigue and stress. Because of these benefits of caffeine, we love to have a cup of coffee late at night or after some stressful events. Do you know coffee contains a high percentage of caffeine? How much coffee is good for health? Generally, I will suggest you do not go for more than 3 cups of coffee per day. Maybe, sometimes you can take more cup of coffee. Drinking more than 3 cups of coffee, in the long run, can affect your health adversely. It can cause insomnia, irritability, stomach upset and muscle tremors. Never even think of using caffeine as a stress buster. Some negative ways of dealing with stress include using caffeine. Remember, it's very important for you guys to reduce intake of caffeine if you are taking it for a long time. Slowly and gradually, you will get addicted to caffeine, unknowingly. Just sharing my own experience. Emotional eating, I hope you are aware of that fact that stress can increase your weight or can excite you to eat more. Related, stress and weight gain. It's good to be emotional, nothing is wrong in that, but being over-emotional is something not considered normal. I have come across many emotionally troubled person in my life. A common trait they possess is overeating when stressed. 3 negative ways to deal with stress. Who doesn't like sweets or ice cream? It's good to take fatty foods once in a while, but any eating habit which is very frequent and in excess can be troublesome. Pornography, you may scream at me that I am gender biased. Definitely, pornography is one of the important ways, especially for men, to reduce stress. It works as a stress buster for sure. How can pornography reduce stress? Pornography leads to sexual stimulation which lowers the cortisol level in the body. It also reduces a brain chemical named dopamine which gives you a feel-good factor. I know you will not believe my words, but porn addiction is one of the toughest addiction to overcome. Slowly and gradually, porn addiction becomes your habit and you start using it for getting short-term relaxation from stress and anxiety. Researchers believe that pornography forces an individual to commit crimes like rape, murder, etc. A regular watching of porn movies or videos can drastically reduce an individual's interest in the spouse. Due to the evolution of the internet, pornography has reached children in schools and colleges. You will find a lot of news related to pornography on the internet which involves crime. Conclusion, I hope you will never try these negative ways to deal with stress. Please let us know what negative ways you use to deal with the stressful situation.